You can transform how you look, feel, and carry yourself every single day by building habits that actually stick. Today, you're going to learn how to take control of your appearance, boost confidence, and create routines that make self-care automatic. This isn't about quick fixes or expensive products. It's about simple, practical steps you can do right now that deliver real results over time. You'll discover how to track your progress, strengthen your posture, improve grooming habits, protect your energy, and upgrade your style in ways that build lasting confidence. Each step is actionable, easy to follow, and designed to fit into your daily life without adding stress. Hit subscribe to Audiobook Shift and stay updated with strategies that help you grow every day, look your best, and feel unstoppable while turning small habits into life-changing results. Number 1. Build daily rituals for grooming. Start the day by deciding how the world will greet you. A small, deliberate sequence of actions done every morning becomes the scaffolding for confidence, clarity, and momentum. Grooming is not vanity when it is practiced as ritual. It is a way of treating the self as worthy of attention, order, and care. The point is not to chase perfection, but to make simple disciplines so habitual that looking and feeling presentable becomes automatic, an external habit that strengthens internal discipline. Begin with clear intention. Before any product or mirror, set one sentence for the morning. I will show up as my best version today. Keep it short. This is not a pep talk. It is a command to the part of the brain that responds to structure. Place that sentence where you will see it, on the bathroom mirror, a sticky note on the drawer, or a small card on the sink. That tiny cue will act as a trigger for the ritual to follow. Design a compact, repeatable sequence. A ritual functions best when it is predictable and minimal. Start with a 5 to 7 minute version that covers the essentials. Wash the face, brush the teeth, comb or tame the hair, and apply one skin product. Time it. When the sequence fits a brief window, resistance drops. On days that allow more time, extend the ritual into a focused 20-30 minute practice that includes a proper shower, skincare steps, grooming tools, and careful clothing selection. The 2-speed system, quick for busy mornings, thorough for slow mornings, prevents missed days while allowing excellence when possible. Use the environment to support the ritual. Remove friction. Keep grooming tools visible and organized. Toothbrush, face wash, razor, comb, small towel, and a simple tray for daily products. Place them within arm's reach and return them to the same place each night. Good lighting matters more than most people admit. A warm, bright lamp or a mirror with lights produces consistent results and eliminates the "is this okay" doubt that sabotages style. Clean the sink and mirror every evening so the ritual begins the following morning in a tidy space. The environment becomes an ally to the habit. Make each step sensory and precise so the ritual becomes anchored in the body as much as the mind. Notice the temperature of the water on the face, the texture of the soap, the scent of the fragrance as it settles on the skin. This attention prevents autopilot and creates small rewards. The comfort of warm water, the smooth sweep of a brush, the crisp feel of a properly buttoned shirt. The brain rewards sensory detail with satisfaction. Use that natural reward to reinforce the habit. Adopt a simple, practical grooming checklist and commit to it for 30 days. A sample checklist: splash face with lukewarm water. Cleanse. 2. Brush teeth. Floss, if possible. 3. Comb hair and apply minimal styling product if needed. 4. Trim visible stray hairs or beard with a quick pass. 5. Moisturize face and hands. 6. Put on a clean, ironed shirt or neat outfit. 7. Inspect shoes and polish if necessary. 8. Apply a subtle scent. Execute the checklist every morning without decision-making. When decisions are removed, habits take root. Use a physical checklist taped inside the cabinet or a small habit tracker app. At night, review and prepare. Lay out clothes. Make sure grooming tools are charged. Electric trimmer, beard groomer, and refill products. Preparation is half the ritual. Use habit stacking to anchor grooming to an already established habit. If brushing teeth is already consistent, attach a new micro step immediately after, 3 deep breaths, and a facial splash. If morning coffee is non-negotiable, commit to grooming immediately before pouring the first cup. The sticky connection is the secret to long-term consistency. Create a weekly deeper care appointment. Daily micro-rituals build baseline presence. Weekly maintenance prevents small problems from growing into large ones. Schedule one evening a week for deeper tasks. Exfoliate, mask, manicure or nail file, change razor blades, give shoes a thorough polish, or steam clothing. Treat this weekly session with the same seriousness as a meeting. It is an investment that pays daily dividends in ease and confidence. Keep grooming tools professional without excess. A few quality items matter more than a cluttered bathroom full of half-used products. Invest in a reliable razor or trimmer, a gentle face cleanser, a moisturizer that suits your skin type, and a comb or brush that works for your hair. Store a small kit for travel so the ritual can continue away from home. When tools are reliable, rituals are smoother. When tools are neglected, rituals collapse. Adopt the Stoic lens. Control what is controllable and accept what is not. Appearance is one of the controllable externals. It does not define inner worth, but it is a visible representation of discipline. Using grooming rituals as training strengthens attention to other disciplines, punctuality, focused work, and emotional regulation. When grooming is handled, the mind feels less scattered. That clarity transfers to decision-making and emotional steadiness. Use the 2-minute rule to overcome laziness. If a step feels like it will not happen, do 2 minutes of it. 2 minutes of face washing, 2 minutes of teeth brushing, 2 minutes of combing hair. Often the short action turns into the full ritual. This small action principle beats motivation in the long run. Consistency grows from repetition, not from rare bursts of willpower. Measure progress with modest, functional metrics. Take a photo in consistent lighting once a week. Keep a quick note of days the ritual was skipped and why. The goal is not obsession, but awareness. When progress is tracked, the mind naturally seeks to maintain streaks. A visible streak of daily rituals creates intrinsic pressure to continue. If a pattern of missed days appears, examine the root cause: sleep, schedule, supplies, or emotional resistance. Solve the simplest cause first. Handle setbacks with calm competence. A missed morning is not failure, it is data. Notice the discomfort and correct it without moralizing. Reset immediately with an evening mini ritual. Wash the face, brush the teeth, and prepare clothes for the next day. Stoicism values response over reaction. Use setbacks to refine the system, not to punish the self. Style choices should be intentional and practical. A ritual is incomplete if the clothing is an afterthought. Select a small, versatile wardrobe of pieces that fit well and are comfortable. Establish a default outfit for different types of days: work, casual, and formal. When decision fatigue is high, default choices reduce friction. Maintain clothes. Mend a loose button immediately. Replace worn-out socks, and rotate shoes to prolong life. Good clothes care simplifies mornings and preserves dignity. Polish the finishing small actions that matter. Breath control before leaving the house steadies nerves. Straightening a collar or smoothing a sleeve is a quick confidence fix. Keep a small mirror near the exit for a last check under natural light where possible. A small emergency kit, lint roller, stain pen, breath mints can be kept in the bag or car for unfussy rescue moments. Anchor the ritual in identity rather than vanity. The narrative behind the practice is crucial. The ritual signals commitment, reliability, and respect for self and others. Frame grooming as an extension of character. Attention to appearance is attention to presence, to being reliable and prepared. This reframing eliminates the shallow shame often associated with caring for appearance and replaces it with purpose. Finally, scale the ritual into life. The discipline developed in grooming will spill into other domains. Preparing a tidy workspace, keeping appointments, exercising, and following through with goals. Rituals are practice fields for character. Begin small, be precise, and repeat daily. Over time, the ritual will stop needing the sticky note on the mirror and will become the first, steady movement that aligns the rest of the day. When the sequence is consistent, the payoff is immediate: better posture, clearer skin, cleaner breath, a sharper silhouette. The deeper payoff is less visible but more powerful. a calmer mind, a steadier presence, and a stronger sense of self-mastery. If the aim is long-term growth, treat grooming not as an end, but as training. Each morning ritual is a small victory. Every repeated victory compounds. Keep the ritual simple, keep it honest, and treat the practice as non-negotiable. The world will notice. More importantly, the individual who looks in the mirror each day will feel more capable of facing whatever the day requires. Number 2. Track appearance habits with consistency. Consistency transforms small actions into lasting results. Tracking appearance habits is not about vanity. It is about awareness, accountability, and incremental improvement. Without observation, even the most well-intentioned routines can drift into chaos or become half-hearted attempts. Tracking converts unconscious behavior into conscious practice, creating feedback loops that allow you to refine, optimize, and master the way you present yourself to the world. This practice is not a burden. It is a tool to cultivate self-respect, discipline, and confidence. Start with clarity. Identify the aspects of your appearance that matter most: skin, hair, posture, clothing, hygiene, or fitness. Be specific. Instead of writing "look better," note concrete metrics: shave twice weekly, floss every night, maintain trimmed nails, wash and style hair daily, iron clothes as needed, and check shoes for polish. When habits are specific, they are measurable. Ambiguity allows neglect to creep in unnoticed. Clarity transforms vague aspirations into actionable targets. Record habits in a simple format. A physical journal, a habit tracker app, or even a calendar on the wall works effectively. Each day, mark completion of every item you are tracking. Seeing visual proof of consistency produces satisfaction and reinforces repetition. The habit of marking a checkbox may seem minor, but its psychological effect is profound. Each mark is an affirmation that you are in control, taking deliberate steps toward excellence. Consistency requires honesty. It is tempting to mark habits as complete when shortcuts were taken or standards not fully met. Avoid this. The tracking is for you, not for anyone else. When the record is truthful, it reveals weaknesses and opportunities for improvement. If flossing was skipped, record it. If a shirt was worn without ironing, note it. This raw honesty creates reliable feedback. Without truthful tracking, growth is elusive. Establish patterns rather than chasing perfection. Observing trends over time is far more valuable than obsessing over a single day. Perhaps your teeth brushing is consistent, but your grooming in the evening is often neglected. Patterns reveal your natural rhythms and weak points, allowing targeted adjustments. Focus on trends and improvements instead of punishing yourself for occasional lapses. The goal is momentum, not guilt. Incorporate small but measurable variables to deepen insight. Skincare is not merely about applying moisturizer. Track hydration levels, the frequency of acne breakouts, or the clarity of skin tone. For hair, note styling duration, product usage, or split ends observed weekly. For clothing, track ironed outfits, color coordination, and fit consistency. Collecting these metrics allows precise adjustments over time. When data accumulates, small changes compound into significant transformation. Use reminders to maintain attention. Habit tracking is only effective if actions are actually completed. Set subtle prompts on your phone, bathroom mirror, or wardrobe area to remind you of the ritual. Notifications are not a crutch. They are a reinforcement. Habits rarely fail because they are unimportant. They fail because the mind forgets amidst competing demands. External cues preserve focus until the behavior becomes automatic. Reflect weekly. Each week, spend a few minutes reviewing the records. Identify wins, notice weaknesses, and plan incremental corrections. Perhaps mornings were flawless, but evenings faltered. Maybe certain products or tools were neglected. The reflection is not criticism, it is an evaluation. This process nurtures self-awareness, which is the foundation for lasting improvement. Self-awareness, without judgment, cultivates responsibility without shame. Introduce rewards for streaks. Behavioral science shows that small rewards reinforce habits more effectively than abstract goals. If you successfully maintain daily grooming and tracking for a week, treat yourself to a minor indulgence, a new grooming product, a haircut, or a small accessory upgrade. The reward is not indulgence, it is recognition of discipline. These moments of acknowledgement enhance intrinsic motivation, making the practice sustainable. Adjust as life changes. Tracking is flexible. Weekends, travel, or busy workdays may disrupt routines. Instead of abandoning the habit, scale it to fit the circumstances. Shortened or modified routines can be logged differently, maintaining the continuity of the tracking practice. The mind interprets consistency as commitment. Even partial adherence reinforces the habit loop. Combine tracking with accountability. Sharing progress with a trusted friend or coach, even minimally, increases adherence. External accountability transforms solitary effort into a social commitment, which the mind respects. Just knowing that the habit is being observed subtly strengthens focus. This does not mean you need external validation. It simply adds an additional layer of reinforcement. Notice emotional reactions to tracking. Many experience subtle pride, curiosity, or even frustration when observing their habits. Acknowledge these emotions without attachment. Use pride as motivation, curiosity as insight, and frustration as a signal for adjustment. Emotional awareness strengthens discipline, turning the act of tracking into an exercise of both self-observation and emotional regulation. Refine the habit over time. As habits solidify, tracking becomes more nuanced. Initially, focus on completion. Did you brush your teeth, wash your face, style your hair, dress appropriately? Later, introduce quality metrics. How clean was the shave? Was the hair styled neatly or just combed? Was clothing wrinkle-free? Continuous refinement prevents stagnation. Excellence is achieved through deliberate iteration. Visual documentation enhances tracking. Photographs, mirror selfies, or short videos taken under consistent lighting reveal subtle changes not easily noticed in daily routines. This visual feedback allows self-correction in real time and highlights areas for improvement that numbers alone cannot capture. Reviewing images over weeks and months provides tangible evidence of progress, reinforcing the benefits of persistence. Treat missed days as data, not failure. Skipped habits are information. Ask why: oversleeping, fatigue, lack of preparation, or distraction. Understanding causes allows preventive solutions. Set out clothes the night before. Ensure grooming supplies are stocked. Adjust sleep schedules, or build micro-rituals into travel routines. Avoid judgment. Replace it with methodical correction. Success emerges from analysis and adaptation, not punishment. Recognize cumulative impact. Over time, consistent tracking transforms appearance. A few minutes daily may feel insignificant, but repeated across weeks and months, it produces visible change. Skin improves, hair looks healthier, clothing is consistently neat, posture becomes automatic, and overall presence strengthens. The visible gains reinforce self-respect, creating a positive feedback loop that encourages further diligence. Anchor the practice in identity. Tracking is effective when it aligns with how you see yourself. The narrative is simple. I am someone who respects my appearance, follows through on commitments, and acts with discipline. When the mind internalizes this identity, habits become effortless extensions of character. The external record validates the internal narrative, producing cohesion between thought, action, and outcome. Simplify the system. Tracking should not become a chore. Keep metrics limited and focused. Too many variables create cognitive overload and reduce adherence. Choose the essential elements of appearance that produce the greatest return on investment. Master a few key habits before expand depth. Before breadth ensures meaningful progress. Combine tracking with mindfulness. As habits are completed, notice how you feel physically and mentally. A smooth shave may feel invigorating. Polished shoes may instill quiet pride. Linking actions to awareness strengthens the habit loop. Over time, self-observation becomes second nature, enhancing discipline across all areas of life. Tracking appearance habits consistently is more than a routine. It is a practice in self-discipline, self-awareness, and incremental mastery. It creates an ongoing dialogue between action and reflection, allowing each day to contribute meaningfully to personal presentation. The cumulative effect is profound. Not only does appearance improve, but mental clarity, emotional regulation, and a sense of competence expand. When consistency becomes identity, tracking ceases to be effortful and becomes a natural part of life. The practice of recording, reflecting, and refining appearance habits cultivates resilience. Minor setbacks no longer derail confidence. Insights from records guide adjustments. As results manifest externally, the internal sense of mastery strengthens. Life becomes easier when discipline over small details produces reliable outcomes. In this way, tracking is a cornerstone of excellence, transforming mundane daily routines into deliberate acts of self-improvement that compound into long-term achievement. With persistence, tracking appearance habits turns the intangible into tangible progress. The process trains the mind to notice details, act with intentionality, and sustain effort over time. Habits no longer drift unnoticed, and every day becomes an opportunity to reinforce identity, strengthen discipline, and improve presence. What starts as a simple record-keeping exercise evolves into a structured, empowering approach to life itself, where consistency breeds competence, awareness cultivates confidence, and small daily actions accumulate into lasting transformation. Number 3. Improve posture through mindful practice. Posture is one of the most overlooked but immediately impactful aspects of appearance. The way you carry yourself communicates confidence, health, and discipline without a single word. Good posture is not a natural default for most people. It is a skill that requires awareness, consistency, and deliberate practice. When cultivated, it not only improves physical presence, but also enhances breathing, focus, and overall energy. The key lies in mindful repetition, observing the body, and integrating posture into daily movement until it becomes automatic. Begin by observing your natural stance. Stand in front of a mirror and note where the body collapses or slouches. Are the shoulders rounded? Is the chest compressed? Does the head tilt forward? The first step to improvement is honest acknowledgement. This is not criticism, it is information. Awareness is the foundation of change. Without it, efforts remain scattered and habits continue unconsciously. Introduce micro-adjustments throughout the day. Simple cues can realign the spine, neck, and shoulders. Start with the shoulders. Gently roll them back and down. Engage the core slightly without stiffness. Align the head so the ears are over the shoulders. Slightly lift the chest without forcing it. These micro-adjustments take mere seconds, but when repeated frequently, teach the body a new default position. Anchor posture awareness to existing habits. Every time you sit, stand, or walk, perform a quick scan of alignment. While typing at a desk, straighten the back, roll shoulders down, and relax tension in the neck. While walking to another room, notice the tilt of the pelvis, the swing of the arms, and the evenness of your gait. Mindful integration prevents posture exercises from remaining isolated drills and makes alignment a continuous, lived practice. Practice intentional breathing alongside posture. Breathing is intimately connected to alignment. Shallow, chest-level breaths are often associated with slouching, while deep diaphragmatic breaths naturally lift the torso and open the chest. Take several slow breaths daily, consciously expanding the lungs while keeping the spine elongated. Not only does this improve posture, but it also reduces stress, improves circulation, and strengthens the core. Create brief daily posture sessions. A 2 to 5 minute sequence in the morning or evening can have compounding effects. Begin standing tall, feet hip-width apart. Inhale deeply, lifting the chest, lengthening the spine. Exhale slowly, relaxing tension without collapsing the torso. Repeat several times while focusing on subtle adjustments: neck, shoulders, ribcage, and pelvis. Short, consistent sessions establish muscle memory more effectively than infrequent, lengthy exercises. Incorporate strength and flexibility exercises. Muscles play a crucial role in maintaining posture. Weak upper back muscles and tight chest muscles are common culprits of slouching. Include simple movements, shoulder blade squeezes, wall angels, chest stretches, and core engagement exercises. These do not require a gym. They can be performed at home or at the office. Over time, strength and flexibility support effortless alignment. Integrate posture awareness into movement patterns. Standing is only one aspect. Sitting, walking, lifting, and bending all lock posture. While seated, keep feet flat on the floor and avoid crossing legs excessively. Lean slightly back into the chair's support, keeping the spine elongated. While walking, keep the gaze forward, engage the core slightly, and let arms swing naturally. Everyday movements reinforce posture when approached consciously. Use visual cues and feedback. Place a mirror at strategic points in your living or workspace. Observing yourself while walking or standing provides immediate correction. Subtle cues, like noticing how your reflection aligns with the door frame, build awareness. Over time, these visual checks train the body to self-correct without conscious thought. Implement tactile reminders. Small, physical prompts can maintain posture awareness. A rolled towel behind the lower back while sitting, or a posture-correcting strap worn briefly during the day, reminds muscles of proper alignment. These aids are temporary training tools, not permanent crutches. They support the transition from conscious adjustment to unconscious habit. Practice mindful transitions. Shifting from sitting to standing or from one position to another is an opportunity to reset posture. Engage the core, lift through the spine, and position the shoulders naturally. These micro moments compound throughout the day, subtly reinforcing the desired alignment. They teach the body to carry itself with consistency, even during unplanned movement. Monitor fatigue and tension. Posture is not maintained through force alone. Fatigue or tightness in muscles can cause collapse. Notice where tension accumulates: neck, upper back, lower back, or hips. Introduce short stretching sessions to release tightness and ensure the body is supported adequately while sitting or standing for long periods. Awareness of fatigue prevents bad habits from creeping back in. Combine posture practice with mental visualization. Imagine a string pulling the crown of the head upward, or envision the spine growing taller with each breath. Visualization strengthens neural pathways associated with physical alignment. The mind-body connection enhances both awareness and endurance, making posture correction more intuitive over time. Track progress over weeks. Take regular photographs or videos in consistent lighting to observe subtle improvements. Often, progress is gradual and imperceptible day to day. Visual documentation allows tangible recognition of change, reinforcing the habit. Celebrate small gains as they accumulate. Progress reinforces discipline. Adopt posture as part of identity. Instead of seeing it as a temporary exercise, frame alignment as a characteristic of how you move through the world. I am someone who carries myself with presence and control. Identity-driven practice shifts posture from a task to a defining attribute. When posture aligns with self-image, adherence becomes effortless. Integrate posture into professional and social interactions. Good posture affects how others perceive you and how you feel internally. Standing tall in meetings, walking with composure in public, and maintaining an open, balanced stance in conversation communicates confidence and reliability. Awareness of alignment becomes a tool for influence and self-respect. Address common pitfalls. Rounded shoulders, forward head tilt, and anterior pelvic tilt are frequent issues. Identify which patterns dominate your natural stance and address them through targeted stretches, strength exercises, and repeated mindful corrections. Small, consistent adjustments compound over time, preventing minor habits from becoming chronic misalignment. Use posture to enhance energy and mood. Alignment affects circulation, breathing, and nervous system regulation. Upright posture encourages alertness and reduces fatigue. The simple act of lifting the chest and straightening the back can transform lethargy into focus, creating a visible difference in both presence and mental clarity. Introduce micro breaks for posture recalibration. During prolonged sitting or standing, pause every hour to perform a 1 to 2 minute realignment check. Roll shoulders, lengthen the spine, engage the core, and relax tension. These interruptions prevent habitual collapse and maintain consistent alignment throughout the day. Refine posture through habit stacking. Link posture corrections to existing routines. After washing hands, take 2 deep breaths and reset shoulders. After closing a laptop, check spine alignment. Pairing new habits with established behaviors increases adherence and embeds posture into daily life seamlessly. Recognize the cumulative impact. Each conscious correction adds to overall presence. Over weeks, upright alignment, strong core engagement, and relaxed shoulders become automatic. Posture transforms from a conscious effort to a default state, enhancing both appearance and internal confidence. Mindful posture practice strengthens mental discipline. The same awareness required to observe alignment extends to focus in work, regulation of emotions, and control over impulses. Posture is a visible manifestation of internal order. By mastering it, the mind internalizes discipline, reinforcing a broader capacity for deliberate action in all areas of life. Consistency is key. Small adjustments repeated daily outweigh sporadic, intensive sessions. Muscle memory develops slowly but reliably when practices are performed regularly. Over time, upright alignment becomes instinctive, even under stress, fatigue, or distraction. Finally, posture improvement is a lifelong process. Bodies change with age, and habits can erode without attention. Continuous awareness, periodic reflection, and adaptive exercises maintain alignment and presence indefinitely. Posture is not merely a static look. It is an active, evolving skill that communicates resilience, confidence, and self-respect in every context. Through deliberate, mindful practice, posture becomes more than a physical stance. It transforms into a signature of discipline and presence. Each breath, each step, each shift of weight reinforces alignment and trains both body and mind. Mastery of posture cultivates an appearance that is confident, composed, and intentional, while simultaneously shaping character, energy, and focus in ways that extend far beyond what is visible to others. Number 4. Upgrade style with intentional choices. Style is a language that speaks before words are uttered. It is the subtle articulation of identity, discipline, and presence through intentional choices in clothing, accessories, and visual coherence. Developing a personal style is not about following every trend or achieving perfection. It is about clarity, consistency, and deliberate decisions that reflect who you are and the image you wish to convey. When style is approached with intention, it becomes a tool for confidence, communication, and personal authority. Begin by evaluating your current wardrobe and visual habits. Notice which items are used frequently and which are neglected. Pay attention to the colors, patterns, and textures that dominate your choices. Identify gaps where functional or aesthetic pieces are missing. This evaluation is not judgment. It is an inventory that provides a foundation for purposeful decisions. Awareness of your current state allows you to build with precision, avoiding waste and unnecessary addition. Identify a set of core principles for your style. Principles create boundaries that simplify decision-making. For example, you might prioritize fit over fashion, quality over quantity, and simplicity over complexity. These guiding rules reduce indecision and reinforce consistent presentation. Principles ensure that every new item acquired contributes meaningfully to your overall image, rather than creating clutter or visual noise. Prioritize fit above all else. Clothing that fits properly elevates appearance instantly. Ill-fitting garments, no matter how expensive or stylish, undermine confidence. Learn to assess fit across shoulders, chest, waist, and sleeves. Tailoring is a valuable investment. Small adjustments can transform inexpensive or standard items into pieces that look refined and intentional. The body communicates refinement when garments are neither loose nor constricting, but sit naturally along contours. Build a versatile color palette. Select colors that complement your complexion and that coordinate easily across multiple outfits. Neutral bases, such as black, navy, gray, and white, provide a foundation for layering, while selective accent colors inject personality. A consistent palette reduces morning decision fatigue and ensures that combinations are harmonious. Intentional color selection communicates thoughtfulness and restraint. Focus on quality materials and textures. Fabrics communicate refinement and attention to detail. Choose natural fibers such as cotton, wool, linen, or leather when possible, as they tend to age gracefully and provide a tactile sense of luxury. Texture variety adds depth, without unnecessary complexity. For instance, pairing a smooth cotton shirt with a textured wool blazer conveys subtle sophistication while remaining practical. Select signature pieces that define your visual identity. A well-chosen watch, a leather belt, a distinctive jacket, or shoes with refined detailing can anchor outfits and create cohesion across different looks. Signature items act as visual markers of intentionality, reinforcing presence without exaggeration. These elements communicate subtle authority and leave lasting impressions without relying on flamboyant. Simplify combinations to maximize impact. Fewer, deliberate elements create a coherent and visually powerful appearance. Avoid over-accessorizing or mixing too many patterns, which can dilute effectiveness. Thoughtful simplicity allows each element to shine and prevents the outfit from appearing cluttered. Minimalism is not emptiness. It is focused expression that amplifies confidence. Adapt style to context intentionally. Different environments demand different visual signals. A professional meeting, a casual social gathering, and an athletic activity each have distinct requirements. Choosing clothing that aligns with context demonstrates awareness, respect, and adaptability. Intentional alignment communicates competence and attention to detail without verbal explanation. Plan outfits in advance. Preparation reduces stress, ensures cohesion, and prevents last-minute errors. Select garments, accessories, and shoes the night before or on a weekly basis. When choices are made consciously ahead of time, the morning decision-making burden diminishes, leaving energy for purposeful action throughout the day. This habit transforms style from reactive to proactive. Maintain garments meticulously. Wrinkles, stains, and signs of wear undermine even the most carefully curated wardrobe. Regular laundering, ironing, and cleaning preserve integrity and convey discipline. Attention to maintenance is an extension of intentional style. Neglected clothing communicates carelessness, while upkeep signals respect for both self and surroundings. Introduce variety deliberately. While consistency anchors style, occasional variation prevents stagnation. Rotate colors, patterns, and textures within your established palette. Experimentation should be measured and intentional, allowing expression without compromising cohesion. Strategic variety maintains interest, while reinforcing an overall signature aesthetic. Observe role models and real-world examples. Analyze individuals whose style resonates with you, noting what principles, combinations, and details create their effect. Extract lessons without copying entirely. Adapt elements to suit personal identity and body type. Modeling refined examples accelerates understanding and cultivates a more informed sense of intentional style. Evaluate proportion and balance. Visual harmony requires attention to silhouette and relative dimensions. Jackets should complement shirt and pant proportions. Shoes should anchor the outfit visually. Understanding proportion transforms ordinary combinations into coherent, confident presentations. Subtle alignment of shapes and volumes communicates attentiveness and sophistication. Incorporate accessories strategically. Watches, belts, pocket squares, bags, and eyewear provide opportunities to reinforce style without excess. Accessories should serve both functional and aesthetic purposes. Each piece should add clarity, polish, or cohesion, not compete for attention. Mastery of selective enhancement elevates overall presence. Practice intentional layering. Layering adds depth and versatility but must be applied with purpose. Each layer should complement others in color, texture, and proportion. Layering also accommodates environmental changes while maintaining composure, signaling forethought and adaptability. Effective layering communicates understanding of both function and visual impact. Observe daily alignment between style and identity. Clothing is a tool for communicating who you are. Evaluate whether each outfit reinforces the narrative you wish to present. Incongruence between appearance and identity diminishes confidence and creates subtle cognitive dissonance. Intentional style aligns outer expression with inner self, producing coherence, presence, and comfort. Audit clothing regularly. Remove items that no longer fit, are damaged, or fail to align with your intentional aesthetic. Keeping only purposeful pieces simplifies decision-making and reinforces clarity. Minimal clutter enhances mental focus, making it easier to approach each day with precision and composure. Develop a visual checklist for style essentials. Similar to grooming habits, creating a concise checklist ensures readiness and prevents oversight. Verify that clothing is clean, pressed, and complete. Shoes are polished. Accessories are in place. Repetition of this verification builds discipline and internalizes the standard of appearance as non-negotiable. Embrace seasonal adaptation. Adjust materials, layers, and colors according to weather and environment, while maintaining overall cohesion. Thoughtful seasonal choices demonstrate preparation, practical intelligence, and attention to context, enhancing both comfort and visual effectiveness. Seasonal awareness prevents improvisation that could undermine polish. Reflect on emotional impact. Notice how intentional style choices affect mood, confidence, and energy. Observe how interactions respond differently when presentation aligns with purpose. This feedback loop reinforces consistency and encourages refinement. Awareness of psychological effects strengthens the link between effort and result, motivating continued diligence. Integrate style into long-term habits. Consistent attention to fit, color, material, context, and preparation turns style from occasional effort into automatic identity-driven behavior. Daily reinforcement strengthens visual literacy and aesthetic discipline, resulting in effortless elegance over time. The skill of intentional choice becomes an enduring extension of character. Understand that intentional style is a form of nonverbal communication. It conveys reliability, self-respect, and competence. When combined with posture, grooming, and presence, style becomes an integrated system that magnifies the impression you leave. Each choice compounds with others, creating a coherent, deliberate, and compelling personal image that reinforces confidence and opportunity. Mastering style is a continuous process of observation, experimentation, and refinement. It requires curiosity, patience, and commitment. Small daily decisions accumulate into a coherent aesthetic that communicates authority and self-respect. With intentionality, clothing transforms from a mere necessity into a structured, expressive instrument of presence, influence, and personal mastery. The act of upgrading style through deliberate choices is not superficial. It is a tangible expression of discipline and awareness. Each morning, the preparation and selection of garments becomes an exercise in strategy, coherence, and self-expression. Over time, the cumulative effect of these decisions enhances perception, reinforces identity, and cultivates a visible presence that aligns with inner values and aspirations. Style, when intentional, is both armor and articulation, a reflection of the individual's commitment to excellence in every detail of life. Number 5. Strengthen confidence using body awareness. Confidence is born from the integration of mind and body, from an acute awareness of how physical presence affects perception and self-perception. It is not merely an attitude to cultivate mentally. It is an embodied skill that emerges when the body is engaged consciously and movements are deliberate, aligned, and expressive. Every gesture, every posture, every breath communicates a message, first to yourself, then to the world. Strengthening confidence through body awareness means learning to inhabit your own presence fully, mastering subtle cues, and channeling energy in ways that amplify authority, composure, and internal assurance. The first step is observation. Spend time watching your natural movements in everyday scenarios. Walking down the street, sitting in meetings, gesturing while speaking. Notice areas of tension, collapse, or hesitance. Are the shoulders rounded, the chest compressed, the head tilted forward? Are the steps hesitant or weighted? Observation without judgment provides the necessary insight for transformation. Awareness is the precursor to control. It illuminates the unconscious patterns that undermine presence. Start by engaging the breath as a foundation. Breathing is central to both posture and mental clarity. Shallow, rapid breaths create tension and subtly signal anxiety. Deep, controlled diaphragmatic breathing expands the chest and lengthens the spine, naturally encouraging an upright stance. Practicing slow, deliberate inhalations and exhalations not only improves oxygen flow but also signals composure to the body and mind. Breath is both anchor and amplifier for presence. Develop a practice of micro-adjustments throughout the day. These are subtle corrections that, when accumulated, dramatically change how confidence is expressed physically. Straighten the back, gently retract the shoulders, engage the core, and lift the chin slightly. Small, repeated realignments retrain the nervous system, creating a default stance of assurance and openness. These adjustments are not rigid. They are fluid calibrations of posture, balance, and poise. Introduce movement exercises that enhance body awareness. Simple routines, such as slow walking with intention, controlled stretches, or even yoga-inspired flows, sharpen the mind's ability to feel alignment and balance. Focus on sensations, the weight of the body over the feet, the roll of the shoulders, the engagement of core muscles. Conscious attention to motion heightens proprioception, the sense of where the body is in space, which directly translates into more deliberate, confident physicality. Observe how gestures communicate internal states, the way hands move, how arms are positioned, and the openness of movements contribute to the impression of self-assurance. Avoid collapsing into defensive postures, such as crossed arms or slouched positions. Instead, practice expansive gestures, even subtle ones, that reflect engagement, presence, and receptiveness. Controlled gestures reinforce authority while signaling calm, intentional energy. Integrate pauses strategically. Confidence is amplified not by constant movement or speech, but by deliberate stillness. Pausing before responding, allowing gestures to settle, and occupying space without fidgeting conveys self-possession. Train the body to inhabit these moments fully, noticing balance, breath, and alignment. Silence becomes a tool that reinforces awareness and the impression of control. Practice eye line and gaze control. The direction and steadiness of your gaze communicates assurance. Avoid looking downward or darting aimlessly. Train the eyes to meet surfaces, objects, or people with steadiness that projects presence without aggression. Awareness of eye positioning informs overall body alignment and helps anchor interactions, projecting calm and credibility simultaneously. Create routines for posture engagement. While sitting, ensure both feet are planted, knees aligned, and the spine upright without stiffness. While standing, distribute weight evenly across both legs, engage the core slightly, and maintain an open chest. Routine checks throughout the day build habitual alignment. The body internalizes these positions, making confident posture an automatic extension of self rather than a conscious effort. Introduce grounding exercises to enhance stability. Feeling rooted in space reduces subtle anxiety and enhances perceptual clarity. Stand with feet firmly on the floor. Notice the points of contact and sense weight distribution. Shifting slightly forward or backward while maintaining balance sharpens awareness of bodily control. Grounding fosters calm, stability, and the physical confidence that supports social and professional interaction. Monitor and refine tension levels. Excessive tension signals stress and diminishes confidence, while too little tension signals lethargy or disengagement. Learn to feel where tightness accumulates, in shoulders, jaw, or back, and release it without collapsing alignment. Awareness of muscle tone enhances responsiveness, fluidity of movement, and the subtle projection of composure and energy. Train in spatial awareness. Recognize personal boundaries, the distance you occupy, and how your posture interacts with surrounding space. Confident individuals occupy their presence fully without intrusion. Adjust stance and gestures to communicate openness, balance, and accessibility. Conscious spatial presence is a physical manifestation of self-assurance, strengthening both perception and internalized confidence. Reflect on habitual movement patterns. Repeated behaviors, such as leaning, shifting weight excessively, or gesturing nervously, undermine presence. Document and analyze these tendencies through observation or video feedback. Identify small, actionable corrections, slower steps, fewer fidgeting motions, intentional arm positions. Iterative adjustment over time builds both visible composure and internal trust in one's presence. Integrate intentional tension release with action. Movements should be deliberate yet relaxed, Overly rigid posture can appear unnatural. Excessive looseness appears careless. Finding the balance between engagement and ease communicates controlled energy. Practice subtle shifts in muscle tone while maintaining alignment to train the body to sustain a confident yet comfortable state throughout prolonged activities. Anchor confidence in sensory feedback. Focus on how the body feels while walking, standing, or gesturing. Feeling the weight of shoes, the contact of palms, or the stretch of muscles provides real-time awareness that reinforces alignment and energy projection. Sensory attention transforms routine movements into deliberate signals of presence. Pair body awareness with vocal presence. Breathing, posture, and gesture influence voice projection and tone. Deep, grounded breaths support stronger vocal resonance. Upright alignment allows diaphragmatic support, producing speech that carries conviction. Awareness of the body's role in vocal delivery strengthens the integration of confidence across multiple channels simultaneously. Introduce gradual challenge scenarios. Practice body awareness in varied contexts: public speaking, crowded environments, or high-pressure interactions. Observe how posture, gesture, and presence fluctuate under stress. Use these experiences to refine awareness, reinforce composure, and solidify default behaviors under different conditions. Repetition in diverse situations strengthens adaptability and physical confidence. Implement mirror or video feedback regularly. Observing oneself objectively reveals subtle gaps between perceived and actual physical expression. Adjust posture, gestures, and micro-expressions based on this feedback. Objective observation accelerates learning, allowing conscious corrections to become unconscious. Habitual behaviors that reinforce presence naturally. Develop a daily self-check routine. Morning or evening reflection can integrate posture, breath, and gesture awareness. Mentally rehearse movements, visualize interactions, and note sensations of alignment. Consistent reflection strengthens proprioception, embeds habits, and prepares the body for confident presentation throughout the day. Link confidence to core engagement. The core provides structural support for posture, movement, and endurance. Engaged core muscles enable sustained upright posture, controlled gestures, and deliberate movement. Integrating subtle core awareness into walking, standing, and reaching enhances projection, balance, and physical authority. Core strength becomes a tangible contributor to both appearance and presence. Recognize the feedback loop between body awareness and mental state. A confident stance influences mindset, creating a self-reinforcing cycle. Upright alignment promotes calm, controlled thinking, which in turn strengthens posture. This mind-body loop magnifies the effects of small physical adjustments, translating subtle shifts into measurable increases in perceived authority and self-assurance. Practice micro moments of power while standing in line, walking down a hallway, or during brief pauses in conversation. Reset posture, adjust shoulders, and focus on breath. These small intervals accumulate over days, reinforcing alignment and presence without the need for extended practice sessions. Over time, the body internalizes these positions, and confident presentation becomes instinctive. Use body awareness to manage emotional reactions. Physical signals often precede conscious thought. Noticing tension, fidgeting, or collapsed posture allows early correction, preventing nervousness or uncertainty from manifesting externally. Early intervention through awareness preserves composure, ensuring that confidence remains visible even in stressful circumstances. Integrate mindfulness into movement. Engage fully with how limbs, torso, and facial expressions coordinate. Slow, deliberate movement, paired with sensory attention, strengthens neuromuscular awareness. Mindful motion fosters fluidity, balance, and grace, contributing to a presence that feels effortless and confident. Strengthening confidence through body awareness is a disciplined, iterative process. Small adjustments, conscious observation, and intentional integration transform everyday behavior into consistent demonstrations of presence and authority. Over time, micro-corrections become habitual, alignment becomes default, and posture, gesture, and breath coalesce into a visible manifestation of internal strength. Physical confidence amplifies mental assurance, creating a self-reinforcing loop of competence, composure, and personal power. When body awareness is cultivated consistently, presence becomes inseparable from identity. Every action, from walking to gesturing, communicates deliberate intent. The mastery of physical self-presentation creates an enduring foundation for self-esteem, social influence, and internal resilience. Through conscious attention, repetition, and reflection, confidence emerges not as abstract belief, but as tangible, embodied capability that informs every interaction and shapes perception in lasting ways. Number 6. Create weekly self-care checklists. Consistency is the backbone of self-improvement, and weekly checklists transform intention into tangible action. Daily routines maintain baseline habits, but without a larger structure, important self-care tasks can be forgotten or neglected. Creating a weekly self-care checklist provides a strategic framework to ensure the body, mind, and appearance are maintained in an organized and deliberate way. This practice not only strengthens discipline, but also instills a sense of control, reduces decision fatigue, and reinforces personal standards of excellence. Start by identifying all areas that require attention. Self-care encompasses hygiene, grooming, physical fitness, skin health, mental clarity, and rest. Include items that may not be addressed in daily routines but have significant cumulative impact over the week. For instance, cleaning personal spaces, deep skincare treatments, and managing hair or nails often get overlooked in busy days. Recognizing these gaps provides clarity for planning and prevents small lapses from accumulating into noticeable neglect. Prioritize tasks by impact. Not all self-care actions contribute equally to appearance and well-being. Assign weight to each item based on its effect on confidence, health, and presence. Haircuts, deep cleansing, and organizing wardrobes may have more immediate visual and psychological impact than superficial tasks. Weighting tasks allows you to allocate time and effort efficiently, focusing on high-return actions that reinforce both internal discipline and external appearance. Draft a concrete checklist that is realistic and actionable. Avoid vague entries like take care of skin or exercise. Replace them with precise actions: shave beard, trim nails, exfoliate face, clean shoes, deep condition hair, organize wardrobe, iron work shirts, and vacuum bedroom. Actionable specificity removes ambiguity and ensures that each task can be completed effectively. Every item on the checklist should translate directly into observable or measurable results. Assign days to tasks to maintain balance and prevent overload. Spread responsibilities across the week rather than clustering them into a single day, which can lead to burnout or skipping essential practices. For instance, schedule hair trimming on Monday, deep cleaning on Wednesday, wardrobe organization on Friday, and nail care on Saturday. This segmentation ensures consistent progress without creating undue stress or disruption to daily routines. Incorporate both routine and deeper care activities. Daily grooming maintains the surface, but weekly tasks address subtler, long-term aspects of appearance and self-respect. Include exfoliation, moisturizing treatments, shoe polishing, laundry, and organizing spaces. The combination of daily maintenance and weekly refinement prevents deterioration, supports a polished appearance, and reinforces self-discipline. Visual organization ensures a compliance. A printed checklist on a clipboard, a whiteboard, or a digital app creates a visible reminder. Crossing off completed items triggers a psychological reward, strengthening habit loops. Visual cues anchor intentions and provide immediate feedback, which keeps motivation high. A well-designed layout, with tasks grouped by category or day, further simplifies execution and reduces mental effort. Set a dedicated time for weekly review. Allocate 15 to 30 minutes at a consistent day and time to assess progress, prepare for the next week, and refine the checklist as needed. This session is not a critique, but a strategic alignment, ensuring that the system remains functional and efficient. Use this time to restock supplies, repair or replace worn items, and adjust priorities based on upcoming events or changing circumstances. Track completion for accountability. A simple log or a habit tracking app records which tasks were completed and which were deferred, Review trends over time to identify weak points, such as recurring skipped actions or forgotten appointments. Awareness of patterns allows proactive correction, turning mistakes into learning opportunities. Over time, tracking reinforces discipline and strengthens adherence to the checklist system. Integrate self-care checklists into broader routines. Align weekly tasks with lifestyle demands to create seamless incorporation. For example, schedule laundry on a day with lighter work obligations, or nail care before a social or professional engagement. Contextual integration reduces friction and ensures that self-care does not compete with other responsibilities, making adherence more natural and sustainable. Use sensory engagement to enhance motivation. Notice the tactile, olfactory, and visual benefits of each completed task. Freshly ironed clothing, polished shoes, soft skin, and organized spaces provide immediate satisfaction and reinforce the value of the checklist. The tangible results create intrinsic motivation, making the system self-reinforcing. When the body and environment respond positively to effort, compliance becomes easier and more enjoyable. Introduce flexibility to prevent rigidity. Life can be unpredictable, and strict schedules can break under pressure. Adjust the checklist for travel, overtime, or unexpected events without abandoning the system. Even partial adherence maintains continuity. Flexibility does not equate to laxity. It preserves long-term consistency by accommodating reality rather than enforcing unrealistic standards. Combine self-care with reflection. Weekly check-ins provide an opportunity to assess mental and emotional well-being alongside physical maintenance. Evaluate stress levels, sleep quality, and general energy. Include meditative or reflective practices such as journaling, deep breathing, or stretching. Integrating these elements ensures that self-care nurtures the whole person, not just appearance, creating sustainable vitality and presence. Include preventive maintenance tasks. Items like checking skin for irritation, repairing minor clothing damage, or inspecting shoes prevent small issues from escalating into larger problems. Preventive action saves time, avoids crisis interventions, and signals forward-thinking discipline. Small proactive steps enhance confidence by reducing uncertainty and ensuring readiness in every context. Create a reward system. Completion of weekly checklists can be celebrated with small, meaningful incentives, a favorite beverage, a leisure activity, or a minor indulgence. Rewards serve as recognition for effort, reinforcing motivation without compromising discipline. Structured acknowledgement transforms routine labor into purposeful action, making compliance psychologically satisfying. Leverage accountability partners or social reinforcement. Sharing weekly checklist goals with a trusted friend, family member, or coach strengthens adherence. Knowing that someone else is aware of progress encourages commitment and increases follow-through. Accountability amplifies discipline by adding an external dimension to internal motivation. Audit and refine periodically. As routines become embedded, revisit the checklist to remove redundant tasks and introduce higher-level refinements. The system should evolve with your life, appearance standards, and changing circumstances. Continuous improvement ensures that the checklist remains relevant, effective, and aligned with both personal goals and aesthetic aspirations. Anchor the checklist in identity and values. Position the system as a reflection of self-respect, discipline, and long-term vision. Internal framing transforms the checklist from an obligation into an expression of personal standards. When self-care aligns with identity, adherence becomes effortless and rewarding, fostering a sense of mastery over life and presence. Incorporate tools and aids strategically. Stock grooming, cleaning, and organizational products that facilitate checklist completion. Accessible, well-maintained tools reduce friction and make tasks easier to execute. When the environment is prepared, effort decreases and consistency increases naturally. This eliminates excuses while reinforcing the practical side of intentional self-care. Consider time blocking for efficiency. Dedicate focused periods to completing multiple checklist items in succession. For instance, allocate 60 minutes on a weekend afternoon for hair care, nail grooming, wardrobe organization, and clean. Consolidated execution maximizes efficiency and reduces the cumulative time burden, allowing the week to proceed smoothly without neglected responsibilities. Visualize outcomes for reinforcement. Imagine the effect of a completed week: polished shoes, organized wardrobe, healthy skin, tidy spaces. This mental rehearsal enhances motivation and frames tasks as purposeful steps toward a polished, capable self. Visualization strengthens both commitment and execution, reinforcing the connection between effort and result. Treat the checklist as a living document. Add new items as personal standards evolve. Remove tasks that become habitual or redundant, and adjust sequencing to match life rhythms. Dynamic adaptation ensures continued relevance and prevents stagnation. The system grows with you, reflecting ongoing commitment to refinement and excellence. Recognize the psychological impact. Completing weekly self-care tasks improves mood, reduces stress, and instills a sense of competence. When the body, environment, and appearance are maintained systematically, the mind experiences clarity and calm. This internal benefit compounds with external presentation, enhancing both confidence and resilience. Integrating weekly self-care checklists into life is a deliberate strategy for maintaining appearance, hygiene, and personal standards. The practice transforms scattered, occasional attention into structured, repeatable action. Over weeks, habits solidify, tasks become automatic, and visible outcomes reinforce both self-respect and confidence. A consistent system produces tangible improvements in appearance, while nurturing mental clarity, emotional stability, and long-term discipline. The act of planning, executing, and reflecting on weekly self-care creates a rhythm of responsibility and control. Each task completed is a small victory, contributing to cumulative transformation. By systematizing maintenance of the body, space, and appearance, a person cultivates an enduring sense of mastery over self, ensuring readiness, polish, and presence at all times. Number 7. Design routines supporting skin health. Healthy skin is not a matter of chance. It is the result of deliberate, consistent routines that nourish, protect, and support the body's largest organ. Skin reflects lifestyle, habits, and care practices, serving as both a mirror and a signal of overall well-being. Designing routines that support skin health requires attention to cleansing, hydration, protection, nutrition, and recovery, integrated into daily life in a way that is manageable, effective, and sustainable. Consistency, awareness, and intentionality are the foundations of a regimen that not only improves appearance, but strengthens resilience and confidence. Start by understanding your skin type. Skin responds differently depending on whether it is oily, dry, combination, sensitive, or resilient. Observing how your skin reacts to environmental conditions, products, and daily activities informs the choices you make. Tailoring routines to your specific type ensures that care is targeted and avoids harm caused by generic or mismatched practices. Awareness of your skin's needs is the first step toward mastery. Cleansing is foundational. Removing impurities, excess oil, and environmental pollutants prevents clogged pores and irritation. A gentle cleanser used twice daily, morning and evening, maintains balance without stripping natural oils. Over-cleansing can compromise the skin barrier, while under-cleansing allows buildup that contributes to dullness and inflammation. Choose a cleanser appropriate for your type and apply with measured, deliberate motions, focusing on areas prone to oil accumulation or debris. Hydration is critical for both appearance and function. Well-hydrated skin is supple, resilient, and less prone to premature aging. Incorporate a moisturizer suited to your type immediately after cleansing, when skin is most receptive. Layering with serums or treatments containing hyaluronic acid, ceramides, or antioxidants can further support barrier health and elasticity. Hydration routines should be consistent, reinforcing moisture retention and improving texture over time. Protection from environmental stressors is non-negotiable. Ultraviolet radiation, pollution, and harsh weather degrade the skin barrier and accelerate visible aging. Daily application of sunscreen with broad-spectrum protection shields against UVA and UVB damage. Even on cloudy days or when indoors, incidental sun exposure accumulates over time. Protective clothing, hats, and mindful exposure complement topical measures, creating a holistic defense strategy. Exfoliation maintains renewal. Removing dead skin cells encourages smoother texture and supports the absorption of active ingredients. Frequency and method depend on skin sensitivity. Chemical exfoliants like AHAs and BHAs or gentle physical methods can be integrated 1 to 3 times weekly. Over-exfoliation disrupts the barrier, causing dryness or irritation, while under-exfoliation allows dullness and buildup to persist. Awareness of response and careful adjustment ensures balance. Nutrition underpins skin health from within. A diet rich in vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants strengthens resilience, reduces inflammation, and promotes radiance. Includes sources of vitamin C, E, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and hydration-rich foods. Minimize excessive sugar, refined carbohydrates, and inflammatory substances. Routines that combine external care with mindful nutrition amplify results, producing both visible and internal benefits. Develop a consistent nighttime regimen. The skin undergoes repair during sleep, making evening care critical. Remove makeup, cleanse thoroughly, apply targeted treatments, and seal with moisturizer. Prioritize gentle handling, as friction or harsh ingredients can compromise repair processes. Incorporating this routine consistently maximizes overnight regeneration, resulting in more resilient, balanced skin upon waking. Morning routines focus on preparation and protection. Cleanse lightly, apply antioxidants or protective serums, and follow with sunscreen. This sequence primes the skin to face daily stressors, environmental pollutants, and UV exposure. Consistency in the morning routine reinforces the protective barrier and maintains equilibrium throughout the day, reducing cumulative damage over time. Mindful attention to behavioral factors strengthens routines. Avoid touching the face excessively, as hands carry bacteria and oils that trigger breakouts. Limit friction from tight clothing or phone contact, and practice gentle patting motions rather than rubbing when applying products. Small behavioral adjustments complement structured routines, reducing stress on the skin and supporting longevity. Hydration extends beyond topical application. Drinking adequate water daily maintains cellular function and elasticity. Dehydration contributes to dryness, dullness, and accentuates fine lines. Pairing internal hydration with external moisturization establishes a layered defense, reinforcing skin health holistically rather than relying solely on products. Incorporate targeted treatments based on specific concerns. Acne, hyperpigmentation, dryness, or sensitivity each require individualized strategies. For instance, retinoids support renewal, vitamin C brightens, and niacinamide reduces inflammation. Integrate these treatments thoughtfully, considering concentration, timing, and frequency to avoid irritation while maximizing efficacy. Targeted routines refine overall care and produce visible, measurable improvement. Scheduled periodic evaluations. Skin changes with age, season, diet, and stress levels. Weekly or monthly self-assessment ensures that routines remain aligned with current needs. Adjust cleansers, moisturizers, or active treatments based on observed reactions. Proactive evaluation prevents stagnation, allowing routines to evolve alongside your skin and maintain consistent results over time. Incorporate recovery and rest as integral components. Sleep deprivation, stress, and fatigue manifest visibly in the skin. Adequate rest supports repair mechanisms, reduces inflammation, and enhances barrier function. Daily routines should include strategies for stress management, relaxation, and restorative sleep, integrating internal care with external maintenance. Environment and habits impact routine effectiveness. Control exposure to harsh conditions, extreme temperatures, and pollution whenever possible. Use humidifiers in dry climates, and avoid long, hot showers that strip natural oils. Environmental awareness complements topical and dietary measures, creating a supportive ecosystem for skin health. Maintain hygiene of products and tools. Regularly clean brushes, applicators, towels, and pillowcases to reduce bacterial buildup. Contaminated tools compromise care routines and contribute to breakouts or irritation. Proper maintenance reinforces the integrity of skincare practices and maximizes the benefits of each application. Consistency is reinforced through tracking. Document routines, noting products used, frequency, and observable outcomes. Tracking allows for identification of effective practices, early detection of reactions, and strategic refinement. A written or digital record provides accountability, ensuring that routines are performed systematically rather than sporadically. Introduce habits gradually to prevent overwhelm. Start with core steps: cleansing, moisturizing, and sun protection, before layering additional treatments or specialized products. Incremental integration supports adherence and prevents mistakes that arise from overly complex routines. Simple, reliable foundations build confidence and effectiveness. Observe physical cues for adjustment. Redness, flaking, or oiliness signal the need to modify routine intensity, product selection, or timing. Responsive care maintains balance and prevents chronic irritation or depletion. Awareness of these signals strengthens self-regulation, ensuring that routines remain supportive rather than disruptive. Anchor routines in daily life. Align skincare practices with morning and evening habits, such as showering, brushing teeth, or winding down before bed. Integration reduces friction, improves consistency, and turns care from task into automatic behavior. When routines are embedded in life rhythm, adherence becomes effortless, and outcomes compound naturally over time. Education enhances routines. Understand the purpose and mechanism of each product or technique. Knowledge of ingredients, skin function, and barrier mechanics allows informed choices and prevents missteps. Awareness transforms routine from mechanical action into deliberate strategy, empowering you to optimize results continuously. Reflect on cumulative impact. Over weeks, consistent routines visibly improve texture, clarity, and resilience. Recognizing subtle improvements reinforces motivation, creating a feedback loop that sustains adherence. Progress is both observable and experiential. Skin feels smoother, looks more vibrant, and responds predictably to care, reinforcing confidence in both routine and results. Mindset is integral. Approach skin health with patience, discipline, and curiosity. Immediate results are rare. Incremental progress compounds into long-term transformation. Routines are effective when performed consistently and with intentionality, reflecting respect for the body and commitment to personal standards. Designing routines that support skin health transforms care from random acts into structured, deliberate practice. Each morning and evening action, combined with weekly evaluation, behavioral awareness, nutrition, and protection, contributes to cumulative resilience and visible improvement. Over time, routines solidify into habits, creating skin that is not only healthier and more radiant, but also a reflection of disciplined, intentional living. A structured, holistic approach ensures that skincare is sustainable, efficient, and effective. Daily attention, combined with mindful adjustments, environmental awareness, and proactive interventions, builds a foundation of enduring health. Skin becomes a visible indicator of internal habits, discipline, and respect for self. By integrating these routines, appearance, confidence, and overall well-being are strengthened simultaneously, producing long-lasting, tangible results that reinforce commitment to personal mastery. Number 8. Measure progress with visual logs. Tracking progress is one of the most powerful tools for transformation. Without a tangible reference, it is easy to lose perspective on improvement, even when consistent effort is applied. Visual logs offer a direct, concrete way to measure changes over time, making progress observable and motivating. They bridge the gap between effort and outcome, providing a continuous feedback loop that reinforces habits and keeps focus sharp. When integrated thoughtfully, visual logs become a cornerstone of self-discipline, confidence, and personal growth. Start by establishing a baseline. Before embarking on any improvement routine, capture the current state. Take clear photographs or videos under consistent lighting and positioning. This initial record serves as a reference point against which all future changes can be measured. Baselines remove ambiguity, allowing progress to be evaluated objectively rather than relying on memory, which is often selective or distorted. Consistency in documentation is crucial. Choose a specific time of day, angle, and lighting for each entry. If you are tracking appearance, maintain the same background and distance. If monitoring posture, walk, or gesture, record from similar positions and movements each time. Uniformity ensures that comparisons over time reflect real change rather than differences in circumstance or environment. Develop a routine for updating visual logs. Decide whether weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly recordings best match the pace of your goals. The key is regularity. Frequent updates make trends visible and reinforce accountability. Scheduling a fixed day and time reduces procrastination and embeds documentation into the broader improvement system. Include multiple perspectives when possible. Single-angle documentation may omit subtleties. Front, side, and three-quarter angles provide a more complete picture of transformation. For posture, body alignment, or fitness progress, recording movement from different viewpoints captures nuances that static angles cannot. Comprehensive observation strengthens awareness and reinforces the link between effort and effect. Label and organize entries systematically. Each log should include date, time, and context. Notes about specific routines, diet, sleep, or environmental conditions add valuable context for interpreting changes. Proper organization ensures that the log is usable as a reference and that comparisons over time are meaningful rather than confusing. Use visual logs to identify patterns. Over weeks or months, review the series of images to detect subtle changes that may not be immediately noticeable. Look for improvements in posture, muscle tone, skin clarity, or style alignment. Observation of gradual trends reinforces the cumulative effect of consistent effort and highlights areas that require adjustment. Leverage logs as motivational tools. Seeing progress concretely strengthens confidence and reinforces habit adherence. Each captured improvement, however small, validates ongoing effort and encourages continuation. The visual record transforms abstract goals into tangible achievements, creating psychological momentum that propels further dedication. Combine visual logs with reflective analysis. Pair images or videos with written notes about how routines were executed, obstacles faced, and adjustments made. Reflection clarifies cause and effect relationships, helping you understand which behaviors produced measurable results. Insight into underlying patterns enhances strategy and improves efficiency in achieving desired outcomes. Adjust routines based on visual feedback. Not all practices yield uniform results, and observation through visual logs identifies which actions are effective and which require refinement. For example, a posture correction exercise may need greater emphasis if alignment changes are minimal. Tailoring routines based on concrete evidence maximizes return on effort and prevents wasted time. Use technology to enhance documentation. Digital tools allow for side-by-side comparisons, time-lapse compilations, and annotation of specific areas. Leveraging apps or software designed for progress tracking streamlines the process and provides a clearer understanding of subtle changes. Technology amplifies the clarity and accessibility of visual records, increasing both accuracy and motivation. Incorporate metrics beyond appearance. For certain goals, measure angles, proportions, or distances in photos to track posture or body composition more precisely. Quantitative data, paired with visual records, adds depth to the analysis and creates a multidimensional understanding of progress. Metrics make the feedback objective, removing ambiguity from subjective interpretation. Recognize incremental change. Visual logs reveal that progress is rarely dramatic overnight. Subtle differences accumulate gradually, and recognizing these small improvements fosters patience and sustained effort. Observing micro changes helps maintain morale during periods when results feel stagnant, reinforcing commitment and long-term adherence. Integrate logs into broader goal setting. Use them to align visible results with personal standards, timelines, and objectives. Set specific milestones based on the visual record, such as improved posture, muscle definition, skin clarity, or grooming consistency. This alignment transforms abstract goals into concrete, achievable targets, increasing focus and direction. Ensure honesty and accuracy in documentation. Avoid selective capture that only highlights positive changes or hides setbacks. Objective recording preserves the integrity of feedback and allows meaningful evaluation. Facing areas that need improvement cultivates discipline, awareness, and a proactive mindset for consistent self-improvement. Share selectively for accountability. Trusted peers or mentors can provide perspective on progress, highlight subtle improvements, and offer guidance for further refinement. Constructive external feedback reinforces internal awareness and motivates continued adherence. However, maintain control over the process. Sharing should enhance growth, not create comparison-based stress. Review visual logs periodically for cumulative assessment. Observe trends over months to gauge long-term impact. Compare baseline images with recent entries to understand how consistent effort compounds. This cumulative reflection reinforces the value of discipline and highlights areas where habits have become ingrained or need adjustment. Document routines alongside visuals. Record which strategies were applied, such as posture exercises, grooming rituals, or fitness practices. Associating actions with outcomes strengthens the connection between effort and result, creating a more strategic and data-informed approach to improvement. Detailed logs reveal which behaviors produce consistent progress and which require reevaluation. Visual logs support self-awareness beyond appearance. Observing posture, body language, and movement patterns provides insight into physical confidence, alignment, and nonverbal communication. This awareness allows adjustments that improve presence and projection, making progress measurable, not only in aesthetics but also in how you carry yourself and interact with the environment. Reinforce motivation through recognition of past challenges overcome. Visual documentation of earlier difficulties, such as slouched posture, uneven grooming, or lack of physical presence, contrasted with current images, demonstrates tangible improvement. Seeing where effort has translated into change reinforces self-efficacy and strengthens the habit loop of disciplined practice. Use logs to set realistic expectations. They provide evidence that change is incremental, guiding patience and preventing discouragement. Understanding the pace of transformation encourages commitment to consistent effort rather than reactionary or extreme measures. Realistic assessment preserves energy and focus, ensuring sustainable progress. Pair visual logs with reflection on emotional and mental state. Observing physical transformation alongside shifts in confidence, mood, or focus creates a holistic understanding of growth. This dual awareness reinforces the interconnection between internal and external improvement, emphasizing that visible changes often parallel psychological development. Introduce variety in perspective and context. Record different situations, casual daily environments, professional settings, or social interactions. Observing how presence manifests across contexts provides insight into how appearance and posture adapt, highlighting areas for further refinement and reinforcing consistency in multiple aspects of life. Establish a ritual around log review, regularly engaging with your records, noting improvements, challenges, and next steps, makes the process intentional and reflective rather than passive. Ritualized engagement reinforces discipline, maintains focus, and creates a feedback cycle that strengthens habits and internal motivation. Visual logs bridge intention and outcome. They convert abstract effort into tangible evidence, transforming subjective perception into objective measurement. Each entry reinforces accountability, clarity, and awareness, turning continuous improvement into a visible, trackable process. By documenting change, progress becomes undeniable, sustaining momentum and encouraging consistent action toward personal standards. Consistency in visual logging compounds results. Over weeks and months, small, often imperceptible changes become apparent, reinforcing discipline and validating effort. The cumulative effect of consistent documentation provides both motivation and clarity, enabling informed adjustments, strategic refinement, and recognition of progress. Measuring progress visually transforms improvement from guesswork into strategy. It sharpens awareness, validates effort, reinforces confidence, and guides refinement. By integrating observation, documentation, reflection, and action, visual logs convert commitment into observable outcomes, making personal growth measurable, motivating, and enduring. This system ensures that every step taken toward enhancing presence, posture, grooming, or style is captured, assessed, and leveraged to maximize progress, creating a feedback loop that powers continuous, intentional transformation. Number 9. Eliminate habits. Lowering physical presence. Physical presence is shaped not only by what you do intentionally, but also by what you allow to persist unconsciously. Small, unnoticed habits can erode energy, posture, confidence, and overall projection, leaving a diminished impression regardless of effort in other areas. Eliminating habits that reduce presence is a disciplined process that combines awareness, reflection, and structured replacement with positive routines. It is not a one-time adjustment, but an ongoing practice of observing behavior, correcting defaults, and cultivating alignment between intention and physical expression. Begin by identifying subtle habits that undermine presence. These can include slouching, fidgeting, avoiding eye contact, speaking too softly, or moving with hesitation. Often these behaviors are automatic responses developed over time and reinforced by environmental pressures or self-consciousness. Observing yourself objectively through mirrors, video recordings, or feedback from trusted peers uncovers patterns that silently erode the way you are perceived. Recognition is the first step toward elimination. Understand the context in which these habits appear. Stress, fatigue, social anxiety, or environmental factors can exacerbate diminishing behaviors. By noticing triggers, you gain insight into when and why physical presence falters. Situational awareness allows preemptive adjustments, turning reactive behaviors into conscious choices. Awareness of context transforms elimination from guesswork into a targeted strategic practice. Replace poor posture with alignment-focused routines. Slouching compresses the chest, shortens the spine, and signals insecurity. Habitually correcting posture, standing tall, engaging the core, retracting shoulders, and lifting the chin, shifts both internal confidence and external perception. Repetition is key. Micro-adjustments throughout the day train the body to adopt default alignment that reinforces authority and presence. Address movement patterns. Hesitant or rushed movements communicate discomfort or uncertainty. Deliberate, measured motions project composure and control. Pay attention to how you walk, gesture, or handle objects. Gradually replace hurried or aimless motions with smooth, intentional actions. This conscious control over physicality communicates mastery over both self and environment. Eliminate distracting gestures and fidgeting. Repeated touching of the face, hair, or objects conveys nervous energy and diminishes credibility. Awareness is critical. Notice when hands wander or movements become repetitive. Replace these behaviors with purposeful gestures or neutral hand positions. Controlled physicality conveys calmness, discipline, and engagement, amplifying presence. Examine facial habits that affect perception. Expressions of tension, avoidance, or uncertainty reduce approachability and authority. Subtle habits like biting lips, furrowing brows unnecessarily, or averting gaze should be consciously adjusted. Practice neutral, relaxed facial muscles while maintaining attentiveness. Small refinements in expression enhance composure and strengthen the impact of presence. Reduce dependence on electronic distractions. Constant phone use, distracted scanning, or multitasking during interactions diminishes focus and undermines authority. Habitual attention shifts convey disengagement. Eliminating over-reliance on devices and maintaining intentional eye contact reinforces the perception of presence and respect, allowing interactions to be fully grounded and meaningful. Target habitual slumping in seated positions. Many people adopt collapsed postures during long periods of sitting, which compromises energy, spine health, and perceived confidence. Incorporate micro breaks to stand, stretch, or reset posture. Awareness of seated alignment ensures that even passive behaviors support projection rather than undermine it. Sitting upright conveys readiness and attentiveness without requiring overt effort. Address vocal habits that weaken projection. Speaking too quietly, hesitantly, or with inconsistent tone diminishes authority. Observe patterns of vocal weakness and train deliberate, controlled speech. Deep, steady breaths support resonance, while mindful pacing conveys control. Replacing weak vocal patterns with strong, intentional delivery enhances presence and reinforces internal confidence. Minimize habits that create cluttered or disorganized appearance. Untidy grooming, wrinkled clothing, or neglected accessories subtly degrade physical presence. Small, repeated lapses accumulate into a less polished impression. Establish rituals for consistent upkeep. Grooming, ironing, and maintenance become preventive actions that maintain visual integrity. Regular attention signals discipline and intentionality. Address negative energy habits. Slouched shoulders, heavy sighs, dragging steps, or sluggish movement communicate disengagement or fatigue. These unconscious cues diminish presence and influence others' perception. Actively replace low-energy expressions with upright posture, purposeful steps, and engaged engagements. Intentional energy management transforms physical presence into a projection of vitality and readiness. Identify repetitive avoidance behaviors. Avoiding eye contact, shrinking gestures, or withdrawing into corners signals uncertainty. Replace avoidance with deliberate engagement. Practice direct, measured gaze, open stance, and forward-facing orientation in interactions. Conscious correction of these behaviors communicates strength and enhances both visual and psychological presence. Eliminate unconscious tension in the body. Habitual muscle tightness, raised shoulders, clenched jaws, or rigid limbs communicates stress and undermines composure. Regular self-checks, stretching and relaxation exercises release tension, allowing movements to appear natural, confident, and fluid. Relaxed energy reinforces both physical and internal presence, creating a stronger, more controlled projection. Observe repetitive, unnecessary motions. Twirling pens, tapping feet, or shifting weight constantly interrupts focus and reduces perceived authority. Awareness and conscious replacement with neutral, grounded positions maintain composure. Controlled stillness communicates stability and self-possession, which are key components of compelling presence. Audit daily routines for subtle undermining habits. Prolonged poor posture during phone use, slouching in chairs, or improper lifting techniques gradually erode physical integrity. Daily awareness of these micro-habits allows incremental adjustments that compound over time, strengthening both structural alignment and the perception of confidence. Replace procrastination and appearance maintenance with deliberate, timely actions. Delaying grooming, style preparation, or hygiene tasks diminishes presence subtly but cumulatively. Establish proactive routines to ensure readiness at all times. This eliminates the physical manifestation of neglect and reinforces a polished, intentional projection. Address micro-expressions in social interactions. Small habitual movements such as shrugging excessively, over-nodding, or habitual frowning can dilute perceived authority. Replace reflexive expressions with measured, intentional reactions that align with communication goals. Awareness and adjustment of facial language enhance both trustworthiness and physical impact. Reduce passive body language, collapsing into corners, leaning on walls excessively, or hunching shoulders conveys disinterest or uncertainty. Replace passive positioning with upright, engaged stances that occupy space comfortably. Deliberate, confident occupancy of physical space signals presence and draws attention without effort or exaggeration. Break patterns of disengaged eye movement. Rapidly shifting eyes, avoiding contact, or unfocused gazes reduce authority and awareness. Train sustained, mindful eye contact that balances attentiveness with approachability. Eye alignment is a subtle yet powerful signal that communicates confidence, presence, and situational awareness. Eliminate habits of excessive self-adjustment. Constantly checking clothes, hair, or accessories during interactions communicate insecurity. Replace these behaviors with preemptive checks before engagement and cultivate trust in appearance. Minimizing self-focused adjustments allows energy to project outward, reinforcing presence and engagement. Address habits of uneven breathing. Shallow, rapid breaths create tension, reduce vocal projection, and signal nervousness. Practice steady, diaphragmatic breathing throughout daily activity. Breath control integrates with posture, movement, and voice, creating a cohesive, confident physical presence. Incorporate habit tracking to reinforce elimination. Document behaviors, note triggers, and measure adherence. Observing patterns and tracking improvements enhances accountability and accelerates habit correction. Progress becomes visible and actionable rather than abstract, increasing commitment to eliminating undermining behaviors. Replace negative habits with positive micro-routines. Every habit removed should be substituted with a constructive alternative. Slow, deliberate walking for pacing, upright posture for slouching, controlled gestures for fidgeting. Replacement solidifies presence, rather than leaving voids that may allow other detrimental behaviors to fill the gap. Eliminating habits that lower physical presence is a deliberate and disciplined practice. Awareness, observation, and consistent correction transform subtle, unnoticed behaviors into deliberate, confident expression. Over time, micro-adjustments, intentional routines, and replacement strategies reinforce alignment, energy, and projection. Physical presence becomes a visible reflection of inner discipline, self-respect, and composure, enhancing every interaction and supporting sustained confidence in both personal and professional contexts. Number 10. Protect energy with lifestyle boundaries. Energy is the foundation of presence, performance, and consistent self-improvement. Without protected energy, all efforts in appearance, posture, grooming, and style become harder to sustain, and the impact of your presence diminishes. Protecting energy is not about avoidance or laziness. It is about intentional allocation, discipline, and boundaries that ensure physical, mental, and emotional resources are available for priorities that matter. Lifestyle boundaries are the structural tools that preserve vitality, maintain focus, and enhance resilience, enabling consistent action toward long-term goals. The first step in protecting energy is awareness. Energy is consumed not only by physical tasks, but by mental and emotional engagements. Recognize what drains you daily: toxic relationships, overcommitment, environmental clutter, and negative self-talk. These subtle drains accumulate, often unnoticed, leaving less capacity for productive, high-impact behaviors. Observing these patterns objectively allows informed decisions about where to invest time, attention, and effort. Establish clear priorities to allocate energy strategically. Identify which activities contribute directly to growth, appearance, health, and personal satisfaction, and which are peripheral or detrimental. Time spent on non-essential commitments, distractions, or energy-draining people reduces capacity for the practices that truly matter. By defining what is non-negotiable, energy is preserved for tasks that produce meaningful, visible results in both presence and personal development. Set boundaries in social interactions. Relationships and conversations can energize or deplete. Limit exposure to individuals who consistently drain emotional resources or foster negativity. Learn to say no without guilt, recognizing that overextending yourself dilutes focus and weakens impact. Intentional social engagement protects both energy and mental clarity, allowing consistent delivery of effort where it matters most. Protect physical energy with disciplined routines. Sleep, nutrition, and movement are non-negotiable pillars. Establish consistent sleep schedules, prioritize nutrient-dense meals, and engage in regular exercise that enhances circulation, posture, and vitality. Fatigue diminishes both presence and motivation. Structured routines safeguard energy reserves and optimize performance throughout the day. Manage digital consumption. Social media, endless notifications, and unstructured screen time consume mental bandwidth and emotional stability. Set specific windows for checking messages and browsing platforms. Limit exposure to content that triggers comparison, anxiety, or distraction. Controlled engagement with technology prevents unnecessary mental depletion and allows energy to be directed toward deliberate self-improvement. Create spatial boundaries. Living and working environments affect energy subtly but profoundly. Cluttered, noisy, or chaotic spaces produce cognitive load and stress, sapping vitality. Design areas that are organized, calm, and functional, and maintain them regularly. Environmental management reduces energy loss caused by friction and distraction, providing a foundation for intentional action. Protect attention through scheduling. Time block tasks for high-effort activities when energy is naturally higher. Reserve mornings for creative or challenging work, physical training, or grooming practices that require focus. Avoid fragmenting energy with multitasking or reactive responses to low-priority interruptions. Structured scheduling amplifies efficiency and preserves reserves for meaningful activity. Guard emotional energy. Repetitive exposure to drama, conflict, or high-stress situations erodes composure and presence. Establish clear rules for engagement. Avoid gossip, minimize negative debates, and limit immersion in emotionally volatile environments. Developing selective emotional responsiveness prevents burnout and maintains clarity, ensuring that energy is applied to constructive pursuits rather than reactive consumption. Incorporate micro-restorative practices throughout the day. Short pauses, breathing exercises, or mindful stretches allow energy replenishment without derailing routines. Even brief interventions reduce cumulative fatigue, restore focus, and enhance the capacity for deliberate action. Protecting energy is as much about renewal as it is about avoidance of drain. Assess habits for energy leaks. Overcommitting to non-essential tasks, staying in uncomfortable postures, or neglecting nutrition can cumulatively reduce vitality. Evaluate routines critically and remove or modify habits that consistently sap energy. Energy conservation through habit refinement ensures maximum impact in priority areas. Boundaries extend to mental focus. Avoid cognitive overload by limiting information intake to what is relevant, actionable, and supportive of goals. Mental clutter impedes decision-making, drains energy, and increases stress. Prioritize clarity and focus through selective intake, ensuring that mental resources are allocated strategically. Protecting energy includes the elimination of self-sabotaging behaviors. Negative self-talk, procrastination, and perfectionist tendencies deplete motivation and reduce effective action. Replace these patterns with deliberate affirmations, structured planning, and acceptance of incremental progress. Internal energy management reinforces external habits, creating synergy between mindset and behavior. Develop consistency in energy protection routines. Repetition reinforces neural pathways that make boundaries automatic rather than optional. For example, establishing a routine of turning off notifications, taking scheduled breaks, and maintaining sleep schedules ensures that energy is preserved habitually rather than requiring constant conscious effort. Physical space and social boundaries often intersect. Avoid overextending in environments where energy is repeatedly consumed without return. Limit unnecessary exposure to chaotic or high-stress settings, and create buffer periods between engagements. This allows recovery and ensures energy is replenished for impactful actions. Integrate proactive planning. Anticipate high-demand periods and schedule energy-intensive activities when reserves are highest. Avoid overloading the day with consecutive demanding tasks. Strategic sequencing maintains energy levels and supports sustained high performance, preventing burnout during critical routines. Mindful consumption of stimulants and depressants affects energy clarity. Excessive caffeine, sugar, or alcohol disrupts natural cycles, creating spikes and crashes. Observe how dietary choices impact stamina and replace erratic consumption with consistent, balanced intake. Energy preservation is enhanced by regulating internal chemical influence, allowing reliable performance in both appearance routines and cognitive tasks. Guard against decision fatigue. Excessive daily choices drain energy and reduce discipline. Implement systems and routines to automate non-critical decisions, such as outfit selection, meal planning, or grooming order. Reducing unnecessary mental expenditure preserves energy for strategic, high-impact decisions that influence presence and growth. Establish emotional closure practices. End interactions and tasks consciously to prevent lingering stress or mental residue. Reflection journaling or brief meditation can seal experiences, preventing emotional leakage. Maintaining closure preserves psychological energy, allowing subsequent routines to be executed with clarity and focus. Recognize the value of solitude. Intentional alone time allows recovery from social, environmental, and cognitive demands. Use solitude to recharge, plan, and reflect. Protecting energy includes respecting the need for undisturbed periods where focus can be restored, priorities clarified, and stress dissipated. Monitor energy flow throughout the day. Identify patterns of high and low vitality, and adjust activity intensity accordingly. Engage in demanding routines when alert and preserve energy for rest or light tasks when fatigued. Responsive energy management ensures sustainable, consistent performance rather than reactive overexertion. Set firm temporal boundaries. Respect personal schedules and resist external pressures that demand excessive commitment. Allocate time blocks for self-care, routines, rest, and strategic engagement. Consistency in time management reinforces both discipline and the preservation of energy needed for intentional action. Practice assertiveness in boundary enforcement. Communicate limits respectfully but firmly, ensuring that energy-draining requests, obligations, or distractions are minimized. Assertive behavior protects focus and reinforces self-respect, enabling sustained attention on appearance, health, and personal growth practices. Create a recovery toolkit. Include strategies such as short walks, stretching, meditation, hydration, or quick grooming rituals to restore energy during the day. Having readily available recovery methods reduces the cost of fatigue and maintains momentum across routines. Observe cumulative energy trends weekly. Reflect on how boundaries and lifestyle choices impact stamina and presence. Use this information to refine routines, adjust commitments, and reinforce behaviors that consistently conserve and amplify energy. Awareness of long-term patterns prevents gradual depletion and ensures sustainable practice. Integrate protective strategies holistically. Energy preservation is not confined to a single domain but encompasses physical, mental, emotional, and social spheres. When boundaries and routines are applied across all areas, energy is maintained at optimal levels, enabling deliberate, consistent, and impactful execution of appearance, posture, grooming, and personal growth practices. Boundaries are a tool for sustained excellence. By actively protecting energy through selective engagement, disciplined routines, and mindful environmental management, the body and mind remain capable, focused, and resilient. Energy conservation amplifies the effects of other self-improvement efforts, allowing each routine to be executed with precision, intention, and presence. Lifestyle boundaries create a framework that transforms energy from a finite resource into a strategic advantage. By consciously choosing where to invest, what to avoid, and how to manage reserves, every action becomes more deliberate, sustainable, and high impact. Protected energy underpins physical presence, supports consistent self-care, enhances posture and style, and strengthens confidence, producing long-term results that reflect mastery over both life and self. When energy is intentionally safeguarded through structured boundaries, daily routines, personal interactions, and environmental factors, the capacity for presence, performance, and growth expands. Boundaries are not limitations but enablers, ensuring that effort translates into visible results, disciplined action, and sustained transformation. They allow focus, vitality, and composure to remain constant, creating a resilient foundation for a life defined by intentionality, impact, and personal mastery.